Hey, what's up guys? This is actually the second time I'm commentating over this video, and the reason why is because last night I actually got done making this video, editing it, and commentating over it and all that stuff. But then, when I was saving the video, while it was rendering, my computer shut off on its own. The video was at like, I don't know, 89% or something like that, so it was close to being, saved. But then if my freaking PC fucking, shuts down. So then I restart my PC, and I find out I have to restart the whole thing and just remake the video, remake the commentary. And the thing that sucks is this video, I mean, it's a long video, it's 13 minutes, so it's pretty long, video match or whatever. But whatever, I'm gonna do it anyways, cause I deliver. Okay, that's why. Anyways, if you guys haven't checked out my previous Machinima Sports video, well, I'll put an annotation in this video so you guys can check that out. Basically, in the video, I was comparing TNA and WWE. And also, if you guys are wondering, well, you shouldn't wonder because it should say in the title that this is Exposing the Glitchers episode 5. And I'm playing as Randy Orton. And, my first reaction going into this match was most likely the first reaction you got watching this. What the fuck is that thing? I mean, where's his quads? Where's his stomach? Where's his forearms? I don't know. These hackers can do some pretty weird stuff. Not just with their moves, but with their created characters, because I don't think you can make a created character like that without hacking your console. Correct me if I'm wrong, though, but yeah, as far as I know, you can't, do it without hacking a console. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. In regards to my Machinima Sports video I recently put up, I was comparing WWE and TNA. Basically, I was giving the cons of both TNA and WWE. And if it wasn't a con, basically I said that, either that certain thing doesn't, bother me, or I forgot about it. And I went into great detail about the cons and why I don't, I put the things I put in the cons for TNA. But when it comes to WWE, I kind of rushed it because I didn't have enough time. I was running out of time. The video, was almost over, so I had to just rush out the cons for WWE, and I didn't go into much detail, or as much detail as I wanted. So what I'm gonna do here is basically I'm gonna continue the cons for WWE. I'm gonna give you guys more details on why I put the cons there. So my first con for the WWE, it was the fact that there was way too many title changes. I mean, back then, a couple of years, a couple of years back, Ric Flair, 16 world title reigns. Well, they're actually 20 title reigns, but WWE only recognizes 16 of them for some reason. But yeah, 16 world title reigns, that was considered a lot, when you talk about, world champions in title reigns, you talk about Ric Flair and how, he has so many title reigns, and it was impressive. Nowadays, you look at Randy Orton, he's an 8-time world champion. You look at John Cena, I think he's a 10-time world champion. You look at Edge. Edge was, 12-time world champion, I think. And, who else? Triple H. Triple H is like a, I don't know, 13-time world champion, I think. So that's pretty close to 16. And if you count TNA, I guess Kurt Angle is a 14-time world champion. But honestly, I don't really count the TNA titles, because the funny thing is, if Kurt Angle goes back to the WWE, they won't recognize the TNA world title reigns. They won't recognize Kurt Angle's accomplishments or world title reigns in TNA. They'll only talk about the ones he had in WWE. I think in WWE Kurt Angle was maybe a 4-time world champion. I'm not too sure about that. But in TNA, they bill him as a 14-time, world champion. But in those 14, championship reign, they're actually, counting the WWE ones, which WWE doesn't do. So it's like TNA acknowledges, you know, the people's accomplishments in the WWE, while WWE doesn't do the same for TNA. But that's understandable because TNA isn't as big or as known or as popular, or hasn't been around as much as the WWE. Again, as you can see here, he froze me like some of the other hackers, but he's actually gonna unfreeze me or something. He's gonna grab me at some point, whatever. Anyways, yeah, back to what I was saying. Way too many title reigns. Yeah, I wanted to tell you guys, just for comparison, you look at how many. Well, first off, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. It was introduced in 07, okay? And if you compare the number of title changes of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship that was introduced in 07, I'm not talking about the old NWA TNA title, and then you compare the WWE, the World Heavyweight Championship for the WWE, I'll only acknowledge the title changes since 07, just to be fair, so both the TNA World Title and World Heavyweight Championship are on an equal playing field, because we all know the World Heavyweight Championship has been around longer than the TNA World Championship. So anyways, since 07, the TNA World Heavyweight Title has changed hands 14 times. Okay, that's not too bad. You want to know how many times the World Heavyweight Championship has changed hands since 07? It's changed hands for a total of 29 times. 29. That's a lot of title changes. Yeah, way too many title changes in the WWE. Second con, what was it? Oh yeah, the IC title and US title these days, they don't mean crap. Before the IC title, US title actually meant something. They had some value to it, and when somebody held those titles, they were actually considered as secondary champions. They were important, and the titles were defended. Kind of like the world titles. At regularly. It got defended, on pay-per-views and stuff, and sometimes on TV. And you look at who's competing nowadays for the IC title and the US title, it's all mid-carders. Mid-carders and low-carders. You don't see main eventers fighting for the US title or IC title. And, that right away tells you that it's not as important nowadays. You look back at, I think it was 2006 or early 2007, Ric Flair actually held the IC title. He was a former 16-time world champion, world champion. But then he went for the IC title and held it and had a decent title reign. And actually he was feuding for the IC title with Triple H. So you had these two, multiple-time world champions, feuding for the IC title, a secondary title. And on top of that, when they feuded, they had a cage match for the title. Nowadays, you'd never see a cage match for the IC title. You'd never see, a main eventer like Triple H fight for the IC title or the US title. And, what else did I want to say? I don't know. I forgot. Anyways, I just hit the RKO, and I'm going for the win. 1, 2, and 3, and actually beat the hacker. Fair and square. Well, maybe I spammed some move, I'm not too sure. But, yeah, I beat the hacker without hacking myself. But that's because I don't know how to hack. What was the third con? The third con, it was the fact that the main eventers, it was a lot of the same main eventers. I mean, it's just, starting to change now with Sheamus in the main event scene, and Del Rio in the main event scene, and all these new guys. But let's look at like '06 or '05 to early 2011 or so. Back then, it was always the same freaking guys in the main event in the WWE. You had Batista in the main event, you had Randy Orton, you had Triple H, John Cena, and who else? Undertaker. And sometimes Edge. Oh yeah, and HBK. So, you know, it was 7 guys, and keep in mind, this is 2 brands, right? So, I guess you can, you know, divide those 7 guys into 2 or so. Yeah, you know, it was those 7 guys always fighting for the world titles, always main eventing the pay-per-views, while the other guys were stuck in the mid-card. And it's just recently changing, but that's because Triple H has a new position in the company, and you know, Undertaker's like beat up now, so he's probably gonna retire soon. And you know, Edge retired, and HBK retired, so that's why it's changing now. Oh yeah, and Batista obviously is gone. But you know, if all that wouldn't have happened, I wonder if those guys would still be in the main event, and the others wouldn't have gotten their opportunity. You know, like Sheamus or I don't know, Del Rio. I mean, Del Rio got a couple title shots. I mean, he didn't win the title, but he got a couple title matches. Now, yeah, I sent this guy a message. You know, I was telling him I'm gonna put this on YouTube because this guy's an AOV guy, and in one of the previous episodes, an AOV guy was one of the hackers. So anyways, he replies back with
First of all, dude, that was an experimental guy that I was working on. Second of all, you couldn't beat me on your worst day, let alone your best. Third off, don't fucking message me, you little bitch.
I thought it was funny the way he said, "you little bitch." I don't know, just the way he said it. I just thought it was funny. But anyways, I think this guy's pretty delusional. I mean, didn't I just beat this guy? I don't know. Let's take a look at the match, at the ending of the match. So, yeah, I hit the RKO, and let's see here. Do I get the pin? 1, 2, and 3. So yeah, I did beat the faggot. So what the fuck is he talking about? He was saying I couldn't beat him on my worst day, let alone my best. So what the fuck kind of day was this? So, I think I reply back to the guy, and I basically, you know, tell him the truth. You know, I just beat you, man. I beat you. So what are you talking about? How can I not beat you on my worst or best day if I just beat you? I don't know. He must be retarded. Anyways, here I actually edited the message, and I put a smiley face, because you know, bitches love smiley faces. So I sent him the message and block communications. Anyways, this was actually the last exposing the glitches I recorded. So I don't know if this is the end, but if it is the end of the series, well, it ended on a good way with me beating a hacker one-on-one. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm out. See ya.